We have two guest speakers. I know both these coaches for I wouldn't say a long time, but Coach Tribble I've known for a while. But these are two coaches that I think college coaches that do things the right way, and we're fortunate to have these folks come talk to us. And the first person I want to introduce is Coach Sparrow, the head Campbellsville University men's basketball coach. And I'll let himself introduce himself even more, but give a hand to Coach Sparrow.
What's up, guys? First off, this stuff is great. I've been in basketball now since I was probably 6 years old. Born in the gym, played organized basketball when I started at 6. Gone up from there, college coach, 26 years old, first started when I was 22. And the one thing I want to tell all of you guys today is I don't get to that opportunity without people like Coach Jackson and Coach Tribble and the people that came before me to help teach me the game of basketball, like all of your all's coaches. I know it's hard in AAU to get caught up in the social media world of posts and likes and highlight plays. That's great. We utilize social media so much at the college level, and we want to. But the big thing is learning the game, continuing to grow, continuing to get better. Take the time during AAU this summer, all of you guys, you're doing the first part. The first part is showing up and being here. The second part is getting something out of it, okay? Don't just finish the season and have a 15-0, 18-0, 16-0, 15-2 record with a bunch of wins. We want to win, okay? But the one thing that you're here for is you're here to learn, you're here to get better. So make sure you take the time to do that all summer long, okay? The next thing, it's supposed to be fun. I had a really serious team this year, and I felt like at times they took the game so serious that they couldn't have fun playing the game. They would be so beat up after they missed a shot, after they made a turnover, and it affected us. It affected everybody, okay? That energy is contagious. You want to have a positive outlook. It's hard, okay? Nobody wants to miss shots. Nobody wants to turn the ball over, right? Okay, raise your hand if you want to turn the ball over and miss shots. Exactly, okay? That's not how you play, all right? But the big thing is playing through those mistakes, all right? You've got to be able to play through your mistakes, and if you can't play through your mistakes, all right, then the coach is going to have to take you out, okay, because you're going to affect the other 4 people on the floor. All right, play through your mistakes, okay, have fun playing the game. Make extra passes, all right. College coaches, we love seeing guys that'll make extra passes. Me and Coach Tribble were just pointing out a couple, all right, guys and girls, okay. We like guys that can make shots, but also we like guys that'll celebrate other people making shots. Does that make sense? We like guys that can make shots. It's a make or miss game, okay? You can't have a bunch of guys missing shots. But we also like guys and girls that are going to celebrate their teammates, okay? That's something else I encourage you guys to do this summer, okay? You guys are coached really, really hard, okay? Be able to take coaching, all right? When a coach is telling you something to do, okay, it's not because he wants to belittle you or he wants to degrade you. It's because he wants to help make you a better person, okay? Learn and grow and also be able to take coaching, all right? That's another piece of advice that I have for you guys. But the biggest thing is when you get the opportunity this summer, whether it be 30 seconds here, 5 minutes here, a whole game because somebody's hurt or cramping or didn't show up, make the most of your opportunity, okay? It took me 4 years to win a national championship. Showing up every single day, going to events like this on Saturdays, recruiting nonstop, 2,500 miles over the past 2 years, okay? Making the most of your opportunity that you get, okay? I'm not the head coach at Kentucky right now. I'm not the head coach at any other school but Campbellsville University, Harrodsburg, and I take pride in that opportunity, okay? Take pride in your opportunity to represent yourself, vision, okay? Play the game the right way, and then have fun. That's my biggest pieces of advice for you guys. All right, I hope you guys have a great summer. I'll see all of you guys out at the different events. And let's give Coach Coach Jackson, a round of applause for everything he does for you guys.
Thanks, Coach. And Coach Sparrow, we got you a shirt here. Give Coach Sparrow a round of applause. There you go. All right, this next coach is Coach Tribble, who's been coaching a long, long time. I learned a lot from him, and I'll just let him go ahead and introduce himself and go at it. Give Coach Tribble a round of applause, please.
Hey, before we do get started, definitely and put everything in your hands down, because I don't think the Jacksons woke up one morning and said, we want 600 kids. I don't think that. So 2 claps for your coaches. We're going to try it again for all my people that can't count. 2 claps for your coaches. All right, here's the thing is I ran AAU, Lexington Celtics for years, and I ran 14 teams. To take a step back and look what these guys have created, you guys are part of one of the largest programs in the state of Kentucky, okay? 2 claps. That's major, because here's the thing about it. It is what, it's Saturday afternoon? There's a million places each of you could be, and your parents, but you're here in the gym, okay? That's a choice. So I'll be brief, but here's the thing I won't hit you with today. I won't hit you with that speech of work hard, do good, all that stuff. You guys hear that enough. Today, I'm gonna praise you for being right where you're supposed to be, which is right here. 2 claps. Because I bet you right now, and here's the other thing, Coach, I'm gonna give you some credit. I don't see a single cell phone right now on the floor. Now give yourselves 2 claps. Because in college, one of the things, it doesn't like you don't get to college and automatically just become this person. It takes work, but you have to rely on the things that you learn right here. The discipline. Coach walked on the floor and he said, everybody get them shirts on. And I see folks scrambling to get them shirts on. Not a big deal to you, but you're representing his program. So the other thing I'll tell you is discipline. As Coach Sparrow and I talk about, the discipline it's not about, oh, did I show up on time? Discipline in basketball is really about what you won't do. You guys are all faced with a whole lot of things right now, and so for you to be here today, you've already told some other people what you won't do. The compliment I'll give you right now, because as you guys are continuing to grow up, and Coach, you've got them from all ages, men and women, not everybody that you hang out with has the same stuff to lose as you do, right? I'm sure you can all name a person that chose not to be in the gym today, okay? So my advice on discipline, hang out with people that have the same stuff to lose as you. Or like they used to tell us, if you were gonna date somebody, date an athlete. So at least you guys are both in the gym at the same time and you're not stressed out worrying about, what's my girlfriend or boyfriend doing? Hang out with people that have the same stuff to lose as you. Okay. The other thing I wanna hit you guys with is faith. We're at a Christian university, okay? Faith is a big part of what we do every day with me and Coach Sparrow, but it's not as though you just flip a switch, okay? So when does faith come into play? Faith comes into play when you're at the free throw line. Do I take the extra dribble before I shoot the shot? Did I line up on the nail? Faith comes when, do I have faith in myself to take the last shot? So then I go into faith of Christianity. As a Christian coach, we had a conversation recently where we said, is it okay to pray for wins and losses? Don't answer, don't answer, okay? But I was asked that question. And I said, well, let me hear from, and here's the thing is I want you guys to make sure you talk about that. But the answer that I got from one of my players was, Coach, faith is about knowing that whether you win or lose, God still got you. Faith is about knowing that you come to a program and you play for a coach or a program that has faith in you whether you win or lose. Whether you have a good game or a bad game, you have a staff in here that is not going to kick you off the team because you had a bad game. So a faith that you can count on opportunities. Segue to my next thing. Opportunities. So many people in this gym right now, and I'll go ahead and say it, so many of you might miss an opportunity because you may think it's too small or too big. When I look out here and I know the staff you guys have, trust me that you're prepared for any opportunity. Now, I'm a small college coach. I have a ton of small college opportunities, even for some of you in here. But when people come ask for my help, the one thing I tell them is, I'm a small college guy. But that doesn't mean less competition. So when I went into coaching for CU Harrodsburg, first thing I thought was, Christian College League. Is it like upward? Are we wearing matching bracelets? You guard the guy with the green bracelet on? No. I'm the women's coach. First game out, team out of Michigan, 6'4" point guard on the female side, 6'5" center. You know what I did? Went out and got me 2 6'3" centers, okay? And it's not because they couldn't go play anywhere else. They chose to go to a small school. So I'll tell you right now, opportunity, make the right choices. Don't pass up a small school and then end up at the University of Thorntons or University of Circle K because you were too prideful to go to a small school. So there's opportunity. How do you get to those opportunities? That's next. Your breaking point. So, and just by show of hands, have any of you met your breaking point yet? Good. Now, Coach said before you get to the end of the season, you might hit that breaking point. Now, here's the teaching. When you get to your breaking point, meaning when you're tired of running suicides, you're tired of running sprints, maybe your team is having a losing season, maybe you're averaging 30 points a game, but your team is still getting drugged, and now you're at your breaking point. Coach, I don't want to play no more. Coach, when you get to your breaking point, whether it's this year, 10 years from now, whether some college coach recruits you somewhere and you get there and don't like it, or you pass up an opportunity and go all the way to Kansas to a JUCO, and now you're at your breaking point. Your breaking point is your breakthrough point. So if you don't remember anything I say right now, your breaking point is your breakthrough point. So when you get to that point of feeling like I just can't do it anymore, that's when you're pushed through. That's when you will break through it. The last thing I'm going to wrap up with is fear, pain, and doubt, and faith are all supposed to live in the same room, okay? One thing that we think about is the second things get tough, normally your faith goes first, or because you're too afraid. So one thing I learned is you can balance fear, faith, and doubt. They can all live in the same room. So, quick story, and I give this story to almost every group I speak to. Why? Because it was my breaking point, and I learned how to master my breakthrough point, which allowed me to learn how to let fear, doubt, and faith live in the same room. So, as Coach said, I've been coaching long time. Started with Lexington Celtics, Richmond Stars. I've coached guys from Dominique Hawkins. I've run camps for Tony Delk and everybody else you can imagine. Been blessed to rub elbows with everybody. And people always ask, well, what do you remember the most? And I always think about, okay, what is it that I remember the most? All right. So I enlisted as another young man who we were talking about breaking points. Guy you might know, Shelvin Mack. Played right here, Bryan Station High School, went on to play at Butler, went on to play in the NBA, playing overseas. But Shelvin was a guy that didn't do one thing like great, but he did a whole lot of the team things. filled up the stat sheet. He might have had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 10 points, 2 steals, 5 for 5 from free throw, but he was going to fill up the stat sheet. But someday somebody asked him, this was after Butler went to several national tournaments, they said, which of your wins do you remember the most? And he went back to his breaking point. And he said, I don't remember any of them. He said, but I can remember every single loss we had. And he said, because those were my breaking points, and it's those times that my teammates lifted me up. So not only is your breakthrough point your breaking point, make sure you recognize somebody else's breaking point. So the short story I have for you is several years ago, and some of you may have heard it because God put it on there for me to tell it. My wife goes down with kidney disease. This is about 10 years ago, right in the middle of the season, right when I'm coaching. Worst time ever. So everybody is, what can we do? We're going to pray for you. What can we do to help? Well, I go get tested, and I happen to match and am able to donate a kidney to my wife. Now, it's all great, but like I've told her after 24 years, if she leaves me, I am taking my kidney back. Okay? It is on consignment with it does have a price tag, no. But it was during that time that it's my breaking point, and while we're both laid up in the hospital, right before the surgery happens, we're both in there, we're both on the beds, doctor comes in. Now, my wife had been doing kind of bad for a while. She was on dialysis, all that good stuff. And he walks in the room and he looks at my wife and he says, Miss Tribble, you're about to feel like $1 million. He said, Coach Tribble, you're about to feel like $150. My breaking point. But I mastered it, and now 24 years later, my wife and I are still married. She's still here thriving, but it was a breaking point. And notice, it didn't come on the court. So my compliment as I wrap up and tie it all back together is, you guys will face more of your breaking points off the court. So to see this many young people in the gym right now, worry about off the court decisions as much as on the court. Because you've already proven that you're deserving of the opportunities guys give you. So one thing that when it comes to faith, fear, and doubt, and your breaking point, they will all tie together. Coach, I'm going to tell you again, I appreciate just being asked to come out. All of you guys, they know me from way back when I was coaching AAU and when I was coaching middle school. My son was a 5'7" point guard, 130 pounds. Nobody thought he was going to play anywhere. But he mastered his breaking point and played 4 years at Spalding University. Okay? Master your breaking point, these guys will get you to your breakthrough point. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, I got something for you. Coach Tribble, I got something for you.
Now, I'm a little bigger than Coach Sparrow now. Make sure it's got the... I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all.